Hi there, my name is Louise Brace from Management 3.0 and Happy Melly, and welcome to the latest episode in the series Management 3.0 Case Stories. And today I am delighted to welcome a very special guest to the series, Thomas Kuryura from Just Digital, a software company which is located in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So welcome today, Thomas. How are you?
Yes. I'm fine, Luis, and thanks for the invite for this chat with you guys from Happy Melly.
No, thank you for coming on. So Thomas and his team at Just Digital have experience using not just one, but actually several Management 3.0 workout exercises. So we're going to change the format a bit today of the show and get Thomas to give us his feedback on why and how they implemented some of these exercises and what his team learned from each experience. So Thomas, let's start with the Kudo Box, which I believe you ran as an experiment or are running as an experiment in tandem with merit money. Now both exercises are about showing appreciation to co-workers. And the Kudo Box is really about intrinsic motivation, so there's generally kind of no prize there, whereas merit money is about showing appreciation, which can often lead to team bonuses or prizes. So tell us firstly why you decided to use Kudo Box and merit money, and why you kind of finally decided to use them together.
Yeah, on the company we recently found the urge to try to recognize peers and don't have this recognition between bosses and employees. We are strictly a horizontal company or a fractal or organic hierarchy, so we expect to recognize our peers better. We feel that's better than recognize a boss recognize an employee. So we kind of merged the Kudo Box that we had implemented early, and we have a lot of success in the company with merit money to create a kind of gamification method to give some employees rewards and also recognize peers.
Okay, and is it something that you're still using? How long have you been using the exercises for?
Yes, we started with a gamification method, with a complicated gamification method a year ago, but we found that like we are experimenting the thing, and we found a lot of problems with those because we added rules to the gamification method as well, and we don't have we don't have to the origins of the Kudo Box to the intrinsic values that six rewards of that Jürgen says on the book, and we kind of the initial experiment go wrong, so we started again this year with simpler ways to do our gamification practice, and that was really successful thus far.
Excellent. And so what were the changes that you made? Simplifying, obviously, the exercise in what way?
Yes. So our initial plan was to help with an electronic tool, and initially we have a person that was the bank that count all these virtual currencies that we have. But at the end of the game, some employees found that that's not too much transparency going on inside the Kudo Box and the merit money method that we created. So right now we are more transparent and put everything on a visual table, so everyone can see what the virtual currencies that each one was trading to each other. That's more transparent. Another point that was not successful was that we added a huge prize to the end of the game, and was mentioned before the end of the game. So the people start to game the system to try to win the prize. That the prize was one trip to Bogota,
Wow.
With the company paying every expense of the trip, like 3 or 4 days, and participate on a conference that our partners held there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So,
so that's one of the problems. And on this edition, if we have a bigger prize, we don't announce this prize until the very end of the game.
okay. Okay, so yeah, so it's a much fairer process in that case. People aren't just in it to win it, so to speak. They are actually in it because they appreciate what their co-workers are doing in the team.
Yes.
And has the Kudo Box, probably not so much merit money, but has the Kudo Box worked? I mean, do you have many teams? So you have kind of cross interaction with teams. Are people giving kudos to people on other teams?
Yes. We have 10 agile teams, and usually the merit money or the Kudo Box appreciation are given to cross teams and not internally inside the team. We have those cases too, but mostly is another peer from another team that requested help sometime in his project, and another team helped them, or another person in another team. So we usually have this cross teams collaboration that's really good and represents what we achieved on the Kudo Box and merit money.
Yeah, I love that type of collaboration. And that kind of actually leads us on to one of the other exercises that you use, and that's kind of business guilds. So that's really all about developing a community within your organization, and a way to share knowledge between teams and to collaborate better between teams and departments. Hopefully kind of unifying practices and procedures. So where business guilds can break boundaries of traditional communications within teams and cross teams. Why did you decide to use that experiment within your organization?
Yes, our initial thought is, since we are truly horizontal and fractal organization, we have a much aversion to have bosses or managers of some kind. So we choose yes, at least the traditional view that we have before the business. So we agree that we should create these business guilds. We call their communities in our workplace, but to at least have some coordination between teams that were working on different kinds of jobs. So, and basically, we also created on Business Guild a way to have many of our teams or employees to have leadership practice, because as stated on the workout book, we usually don't have a guild master or a guild leader. One of the things that we said to the employees that we want to have those guilds to be round robin leadership. So we don't have a solo, for example, we have a guild, a Scrum Masters Guild, for example, and we said, if we create this guild, please don't have a single leader. We want the participants to have a round robin leadership on this case. So we basically don't have that figure of a single boss inside a business guild also. We have a lot of leaders inside a business guild that are trying to move the guild forward. And also we have a kind of hierarchy. We have a master guild that's called, for us, it's called just Agile Challenge. That's a master guild that we have several leaders from the other guilds to participate, and this guild specifically held decisions from the entire company. So basically, management decisions or problem-solving decisions are held by this master guild. And this guild also doesn't have permanent members. There's a round-robin members for the other guilds.
Okay. And do you find that most of the teams want to participate in the guilds? They find it beneficial?
Yes, they find very beneficial because they are moved by some of the intrinsic problems that the organization suffers and they can solve. And usually they do that inside our guilds, like the Scrum Master Guild or the Product Owner Guild or Developers Guild. But on the Agile Challenge, they see the problems that a single guild can solve. For example, we have a recent problem on how we get home commute on our company. Mm-hmm. Because we have the two aspects. We have aspects of one, some employees doing for the good of the team, and some other employees doing for bad reasons. Like, we had a retrospective and we didn't solve a problem. We have a conflict between team members, and right now I'm going to do a home office because I don't want to talk with my team. Mm-hmm. So we have these two problems and we have to solve it. And we have this problem to specially held on this Just Agile Challenge to see what every guild is thinking about regarding this problem and what we can solve to adhere to a home commute inside our company.
Wow.
In the end, we have a lot of more ideas that we, at least a manager or a single person will have. We have a lot of interesting activities held by these communities, and everyone make the decision and participate on that decision.
Wow, it seems like that you. How long have you been working with business guilds? Because it seems like this is like something that's really built into your company now.
Yeah,
I might go out for a guest post on Happy Melly on that, because it sounds like you have an amazing experience with business guilds.
Yes, we introduced it like 6 months ago, and was
only 6 months.
Yes, and thus far it's really successful on our company.
Excellent, that's awesome. And so finally, let's talk about moving motivators. So organizations that use moving motivators tend to perhaps be in a change period or a transitionary period, and use them to find out how the motivation of teams might be affected during that change. So Thomas, can you tell us in what stage you were in the organization when you decided to introduce moving motivators?
Yes. So Moving Motivators was an excellent exercise for us to understand the real motivation of each collaborator that working on a team, because different persons have different motivations, and each one has a ultimate goal that they want to reach out in their lives, at least for that moment. And we feel the urge to add the movement motivators so we can understand better each person, their individuality or their intrinsic motivation, to help them in this subject, how we can motivate him or her in their work.
Mm-hmm. And have you adapted kind of processes based on the feedback that you've received, or?
Right now, no. We are gathering this data and kind of make a radar of each team to understand how each team is different and how we can motivate each team.
Uh-huh.
But on initial data gathering, we found out that some roles on the company specifically have the purpose motivation intrinsically held as a top motivation of everyone. That's one thing that we found out that we didn't expect to have that.
That's excellent. So I think I understand that you are also looking to introduce project credits and delegation boards. So perhaps you'll come back and speak to us in the next few months
Okay.
about your experiences with that, and tell us what happened when you, kind of really looked at the data for moving motivators, and how that progressed. So hopefully we might get a chance to speak to each other in the near future. Thank you so much, Thomas, for sharing your insight and your experiences with us today. Before we sign off, just tell us something about your company, Just Digital.
Yeah, our company Just Digital specializes on information management. So we work with content management systems, and also with uh, big data and data indexing. We have two main products. One is one open source content management system called Drupal, and other one is a Google search appliance that we are a partner from Google that to deploy that technology to index data inside a bigger company, and to have the Google search basically inside the company intranet, for example. So we have these two main products, but we specialize on content management and search. But we are going to other subjects like big data and such.
Wow, that sounds awesome. I'm definitely going to get you for a guest post on Happy Melly. So thanks once again, Thomas, for all of the insight that you've given us today. It's Friday, and I'm going to say thank you again and have a happy weekend.
Oh, thanks, Liz. And you too. Thanks for having me, and have a happy weekend.
Thank you so much.